In a fun jump journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats.
Hey there, crafty friends. I'm jumping in here with a really quick make today because I wanted to show off two no-sew binding options. And we're going to use a 6x6 pad. So this, you can make these as big or as small as you'd like, well, within reason. And these would be great if you wanted to make like a little mini album to give someone. So for Mother's Day or Grandparents' Day or Easter even. These go together quick and you can use up your 6x6. And I'm going to show you the two no-sew bindings that are super quick. And one uses a really cool tool that I just found. So that's super exciting. I can't wait to show it off. All right, so get your 6x6 pad and we're just going to pick out some colors. So this one is Bright Vintage by the Paper Studio. I never pay $6.99, so it was definitely on sale, usually 40% off, so probably a couple of bucks. I love this paper pack. This would be perfect for the spring or even the summer. We'll just pick out a bunch. They all coordinate, so it's absolutely fine. Whatever you pick, it's going to work. Oh, that's pretty. All right, what do you got? 6 pages. And you can be as elaborate or as simple as you want with these because they are super easy. And this is not double-sided, so we are going to have a white side, which I think is perfect. So if you're doing sort of like a photo album or something, you can use these. Trying to think, I think I want this on the cover. And then I thought it would be cool to put a big butterfly. So the fun part of this is that we need limited tools. So I'm going to get out my, actually I'm going to get out my scoring board. I don't need to trim anything. We're just going to put a crease in the side here. And I'm going to do that on the 1/2 inch mark. So I just want to go through all of them and score them at a 1/2 inch. On if your paper is directional, it's going to be on the left side of your paper. And just go through and score them all. So I'm just going to give you the simple layout ideas, but you know, you can go to town with it. We're not going to get into complex filling it up, and I'm just going to assume that you might want to use this as sort of like a little photo album to give someone. Or keep for yourself. I mean, we don't always have to give our stuff away, right? We can just keep it and fill it up with good memories. Okay, and the last two. Okay, and then we just want to fold on that crease, and that's more just to set it in place. And I'm going to go in one direction and then the other. Okay, and I'm going to do that on all of them. Okay, so they're all folded. This is going to be my cover. I'm just going to kind of go in a stylized page, plain page, stylized page, plain page, so on. And for this one, I think I'm going to flip it around this way so that we have a back cover. Okay, so our first non-binding technique is going to use a pokey tool or a hole punch. You use whatever you have. I'm going to use a pokey tool because I'm going to do a bunch, and I'm going to put a book under here, and I'm going to poke 3 holes, 1, 2, and 3, And what we're going to do is we are going to take one of these brads, and that is going to be our closure. Okay, very simple. And I'll put all of the links to the products that I'm using in the description box below so you can kind of get it. The Paper Studio stuff is a Hobby Lobby product. I'll see if I can find it online, but sometimes they don't have all the paper packs available. But if I can, I'll put it there for you. Okay, and you can be as strategic as you want with this. I'm just gonna kind of go through, and you know, I just need a hole big enough to fit the brads through. Okay, and I'm kind of going to do these as I go so that it doesn't get all wonky on me. And I'm going to use this, I don't know, is it antique brass type? And I'm just going to throw it in here. And you want to be careful that you leave enough room so when you bend this over, it's not coming out the bottom. So do keep that in mind. Okay, come on, work with me. They always work until they don't. I don't know why it doesn't want to go down nice and even. Usually it just goes down nice and even. Okay. Perfect. Okay, and we're going to put a piece of washi over that, so don't worry about it. You could also just put a piece of paper. This one, I'm going to go about here. Be careful when you're using these, you know. They can get away from you, so we want to make sure you're not handing it off with bandaged hands. Okay, that one worked fine. And you could stop right there, but I'm going to add a third one just for aesthetics. Maybe there. Now, if you have a hole punch, you can definitely punch these with a hole punch. I have this one that is 1/8 of an inch. I brought it out to show you. Even if you have the bigger ones, you could use it. As long as it's smaller than your brad head, you should be fine. Because you don't want to see the hole. So if it's too big, then you're going to see that hole there. Come on, work with me. Where are you? Oh, it's stuck together. Interesting. There we go. Okay. Now you can see why we scored it. It just makes it a little easier to flip it. And like I said, you can decorate this as easily, you know, as intricately or as simply as you would like. All right, we can kind of fold it back, and I'm going to get a piece of washi just to cover that up. All right, I have all this pretty, and I need something pinkish. This has some butterflies on it, so is this going to be maybe just a little too wide? Or something slightly thinner. This might be perfect. And I am going to throw some glue on there, just because, you know, it's washi, and washi is washi. So I'm going to use my Fabrifix. And then I'll get a piece of this. And we will just cover those up. And you could use a piece of paper also, and that'll be perfectly fine. And you could use both. I don't know. Okay. Let me It's not quite aligned, right? I think paper might even be better just because, I mean, this is a little more flexible, so once it dries, it's going to be fine. And you don't even have to cover it if you don't want to. I just thought it would be a little added bit there. Okay, and then what we can do is I'm going to go to my big butterfly box, and I'm just going to get something to put on the cover here, just to give it a little accent of something. You don't have to use a butterfly. You could use a flower of some type. But let me get my butterflies. Try not to have an avalanche here. And see if we can find one that works. Oh, that one will be gorgeous. Oh, I might have to fussy cut that out. All right, we'll see. Let's see what else. Oh, this one's pretty too, though. Yeah, actually, I think I like that one. And I leave the wings up a little. We have some pink ones too. Oh, this one's pretty too. Well, it depends on how big you want to go. We can do both of these. I think that would look really pretty. Very simple. And how, I would love to get this. I don't know. It's just like super simple. I'm going to cover up that bird, but that's okay. We're going to leave their wings up and just glue the center there to keep the dimension. Like that. Oh, so pretty. If I have a word that says like memories, that would be ideal. Okay, so I don't have memories, but I do have journey. I think that would be fun. I don't know where these words are from. I'm sorry. There are so many words out there that I can't keep up. Maybe put it like that, since I already glued these guys down. I wonder if they'll slide just a little. Because then I could put it up here. Actually, I like it on the side. I'm going to put it there. So, and I'm not even inking, guys. You're like, whoa, Jay's not inking. It's crazy. Okay, we do have to draw their little antennae in. Make sure this is going to write. All right. Because I usually cut them off. But these were boxed, so I had nothing to do with the removal of their antennae in this case. And I'm just gonna go get my photo corners now. But if you don't have photo corners, you can fake it, and you can take one of the pages and find one that has pretty cool corners. Doesn't really matter, they're all kind of cool. So what you can do is cut these into strips, because we don't want to just cut the corners off, right? We want to get a bunch of corners. So let me do 1-inch strips, and we'll cut them in half. 1 inch by 1 inch, and that will give me a square, obviously, and then we can just cut it on the diagonal, and we can make our own photo corner. Some of you might have those die cuts that will make photo corners, but you can just put these in here and just glue there like that, and then just put one on each side, or you can just attach them in a baggie with a little double-sided tape where it's not removed on the other side. But you know, if you're gonna give it, then you're gonna want to imagine the standard size pictures, you know, like a 4x6. So you're going to want to space your photo corners accordingly. So if I kind of, let's say we put this one here, and if we measure over for what would be like a 4-inch, maybe this one has to come back the other way a little. Okay, and then if our picture is 4, let me just put them. Oh, here. Things disappear so quickly. Okay, and then you want to have this one at 4. Just a little outside of 4. Like that, and then to go down, let's just do it 4x4 for ease of this video. 4x6 might be a little hard to do here because our paper is 6x6, but we want to align it. So around there, and again, you can do this with, you know, your paper corners too. And then like so. And if you didn't want to go through the trouble of mounting squares or anything like that, what you can do is just give it to them and let them know that it's for photos. And you could even put in a photo of yourself in the beginning. I know that, or their grandkid, or, you know, grandkids, whatever, the dog. You can just put a photo or 2 in it, or you can fill it up with photos and give it that way. That would be a great gift too. Okay, so that's our first one. Let's get another 6x6 pad. Okay, so this one is Bees by the Paper Studio. Look, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they started at $11.99 and said, you know what, that's not gonna work. Anyway, let's get some paper out of here. This is a gorgeous paper pack. Who wouldn't love an album of this style? Actually, I think I'm just gonna go with the blue and yellow because I kind of like the way they all look together. Ooh, that one's pretty. This one has little bees. This one has big bees. Take one of them. One of these and one of these. I think I'll use this on the front. All right. Same verse. We're going to, looking for my bone folder. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with these. I'm going to score them, make one my back cover. Let's see. Maybe this blue. But we're scoring them all on the 1/2 inch again. All right, I'm going to score all mine. I'll meet you right back here. Okay. And I am folding, folding, folding like I did with the last one. Okay, so these are all together now. I have a back cover. And now the exciting part, the new favorite tool. Guys, this has been around forever, and I forgot it existed, but look, watch how easy this is. Ta-da, attached. Attached. And there we go. And it comes with different colored clips or silver. And I'm sure these could be painted with like a metallic marker. Let me see. So if you didn't like, you know, the silver, which isn't really my jam, but I could just come in here and kind of cover over them or paint them, spray paint them, and get a different look. So, and look how fast it was. And I know it might look like, you know, I'm pushing a little hard, but it's actually really easy. So even if you have like a little trouble squeezing, it's actually quite easy. And guys, they're removable and they go back in to this little holder, and you can hold like 7 or 8 of them in here, and then it just snaps back on. Super easy, right? So let's put a little cover on this. I got a couple of pieces here I thought would be fun. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. You could also put a background on, but for the sake of brevity, maybe we'll go like that. And then we'll put this little jar of honey. Stick with the bee theme. And bumblebee. You could fill this with so many things, not just photos. You could fill it with seed packets, which would be perfect for spring. Gift cards, dollar bills, you know, some recipes. Oh, so many ideas. Okay, so where's the other one that I made? Here it is. So a fun, quick couple of makes with very little effort and no sew. And you could do a bunch of these really quick. And like I said, you can get really involved. Look, I love that these even kind of move up and down if you want. You could put 5 or 6 on there. You could just put 2 and it would still hold perfectly fine. And we still have a lot of room. I could probably put another same amount of pages and still, so you can get these pretty thick. So I'll put all the tools down in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!